go band. That's the most trick-heavy map.
I want to see it today.
And I think we're going to see reps or parkour or agility dash. Those are the 3 into the breach picks. You see them every time. Slow down the answer. Maybe some freestyle in there. Some of these reps, like more.
Maybe now. Maybe or maybe we're gonna see reps.
Oh, we did see freestyle.
Yeah, something like that. Or maybe agility dash, also a very, very favorable map and a good map.
Okay, Aero pipes.
Nice. Okay. Love to see that map being played.
Pick there. But we still have 3 maps that will be determined here in the pick and ban. Of course, 1 map will be randomized at the end.
It will. Slippy the choice. They want to put Kappa and Tween on something a bit tricky. And what is the response going to be out of the remaining maps here? Reps and agility dash the random. So quite the set here. Reps is a map that Into the Breach often pick a lot. And it's one that Tween is very fast at. Kappa solid as well, but Tween the main carry there. And this is a set I think they could win, but it's starting out pretty tough. Parkour. It's a very tough map.
I do predict some back and forth in terms of map wins here. I think Parkour is going to go heavily favored towards ITB. They've been doing so well on that map. Elcon has driven times that are just almost unbeatable. But then we have Slowdown, and I believe that Sinners have performed incredibly well on that map. I think that might be their best map. So I think we're going to have a little bit back and forth in the map wins in the start. But I do predict, in my opinion, that ITB has the highest chance of winning this.
Yeah, too bad we don't see back and forth in the maps, because this was the map that was not being picked or banned, so it was just left out open. So we don't see that one as a decider, but we see Parkour, a map that we haven't seen so far today. And this map is notoriously hard for the identity, the gear 4 holding beforehand. It's a very tricky map.
It really is. You have the jumps as well with, the potential flip in the ending that the players like to go for. But Elcon here, as you mentioned, his pace incredible. World record by him, 1:01.92. He's also driven 0.1, 0.2. Mime's driven 0.2.
I mean, casually, right?
Yeah, pretty casually.
The crazy thing about it is that Elcon is 0.2 ahead of everybody else on his PB pace on the world record. So, I mean, that's just incredible, that how fast he did that round. And he didn't even do the barrel roll in the ending. He didn't do the risky ending strat. So he could actually drive 0.2 faster than that if he had to.
And just to give you guys some context here, Into the Breach are the team that's played this map the most, with 41 rounds on it. Sinners, they're the team that's played it the least, with 12 rounds on it. So this is like the biggest difference stylistically between the two teams, where one team just loves this map and the other does not. And the reason is stuff like bobsleigh, stuff like the parkour jumps in the ending. Into the Breach already with a great start here, 2 tenths ahead of Kappa, the closest player from Into the Breach, from Sinners rather. And as we go into the identity now, he has a very tough task, has to try to catch up, but Mime and Elcon are just extending their lead. And what is the final time going to be here? No one going for the wobble. Looks like Elcon hits it. Mime going to go for the safe just in case, but they are going to ace here. Elcon at 1:02.23. Why not?
Yeah, he just starts off things with an okay time, Elcon 1:02.23. And what I really want to emphasize is Elcon, it's his first TMGL season, and he plays outstandingly well. Like, what a debut season for the young player.
Yeah, he's done really well, and especially on a map like this where he seems so specialized in, he's been doing incredibly well. And already, as you said from the get-go, we see ITB just demolishing this first map.
Mistake though.
First mistake.
And the season for Elcon started out as him making a lot of mistakes, trying to find comfort, but now that he has, we can see really him shine in rounds like this. Mime with a mistake that gives Sinners an opportunity, but the time that Elcon won with last time was half a second ahead of both of their personal best, but they are not immune to failure, and here Sinners still have a chance, but I do not think Elcon's out of it.
It's definitely not over yet. Elcon has performed incredibly well in the identity, and as I say that, Tween makes a huge mistake, and Kappa is going to be alone in the lead. Elcon getting even closer with that wobbly landing, so we're going to see if he's going to be able to get the ending down. He gets a lower down. Yeah, he gets that first place with the wobble in the ending. An absolute incredible snipe there from Elcon, showcasing that he just has the understanding to overtake and just get a perfect end.
He won with a crash. He beat their personal best with a crash.
It's crazy. Elcon, calm down. Also a beautiful wobble. It's so hard to do. You have seen so many players actually slowing down and making mistakes due to that, and that's why people went for a safe, just smooth landing, right? But he just did it effortlessly.
And the thing we're talking about there, that wobble, he intentionally lands unsmooth, so the car tilts over the platform, reduces airtime, and he gets a lot more speed for the finish that way. Now, that was a big round for Sinners to potentially win, because both Into the Breach players crashed, and here, they've been flawless out of the start. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be very, very tough.
No one has made a mistake so far. Tween a little bit behind though, and then we have Kappa also chasing them down. Such a low jump. Tween clipping a little bit, but so did Mime by the looks of it. So it's very close here up until this ice part. Also no one clipping there. Elcon still leading the round. We could see maybe the round being decided by a flip. Tween with a mistake. Kappa has to push it now. Will he overtake it? Would be an important draw to get, but Elcon and Mime are long gone, having a lot of speed. Kappa with a mistake, and it could be the second ace for ITB. Elcon gets it well. Mime is clipping. I'm not sure if he makes that jump. He doesn't do so. He has to respawn.
It's a good winning time.
Gets that second place, but Mime can still stay ahead of Kappa, and he will do so.
Elcon driving basically second world record. Only he has driven a faster time than that. 102.13 now. Just continuing this dominance on the map. Sinners, they're not going to beat him, I think.
And this is what has happened to Sinners in quite a few of the previous matches they've played in, is that they get put in a situation where they have to drive faster than they're comfortable with. And that's when you make mistakes. It's when you're pushed so far beyond your comfortable zone that you just hit a corner or you make a slight wrong turn and then ITB capitalize.
It's not just driving faster than your comfort zone, it's driving faster than Pac, Carl Jr., Gwen, Binks, Uffy, the list goes on. There are so many great players that cannot match that Elcon pace, and they follow in that line, I think, because 102.13 is just incredible to do on repeat.
So his worst time was a 102.6, and that was the one with the crash.
Yeah.
Just take a look onto that. He did a
He's
0.2,
trying,
and it's
but it's not
again
enough.
ITB in first and second. Let's see what Tween is doing. He's half a second behind. Let's see if Mime and Elcon can keep it together, and just getting that identity so consistently like they do. It's so hard to do, and look at that. Elcon and Mime first and second.
It's another fast time here for Elcon. He doesn't get the wobble quite right, so even without the wobble, it's gonna be a low 102. 102.3.
Yeah, that's only the third fastest time Elcon. You know, keep on practicing, but no, it's incredible. With that landing, he got such a great time, and now ITB only 1 point away from their first map win.
And I think if you go into playoffs against Into the Breach, you kind of have to ban this map with how good they've gotten at it. Other teams have to look at this and think, this is literally crazy. Literally crazy to play against.
It's definitely incredibly difficult to fight ITB on a map like this, but they do also have other great maps that they can pick, of course. I think Slowdown was a great counter pick coming from Sinners, and I think they're going to jump back right after this, but at the moment it looks like ITB is going to absolutely stomp here on the first map. Their map pick, and just indeed probably the best team on this map.
And Elcon could clean sweep them. He's won every single round so far. He's 4 for 4 in first places. He could get another one here.
But
Take
the caster's curse is kicking in, and now Elcon will have a hard time to clear that bobsleigh corner. Gets overtaken by Tween, but we know Elcon, he can do a flip.
I wouldn't be surprised if he wins this. I would not be surprised if he somehow gets back there.
Takes one, comes closer to Mime. Will he go for the flip?
This is within reach. This is within reach with a wobble and a flip.
Oh, he has it good. But
he decides not to. Just secures the win.
Yeah.
Mature play style here, and they will get it. Kappa gets a bit of a band-aid on the wound, but still gonna hurt.
10-3.
10-3. Map 1 to Into the Breach.
Yeah, I mean, but this was absolutely expected here from map 1. Parkour is an incredibly difficult map. We knew that Elcon and Mime have incredible paces on it, so being able to stand up to that when you're Sinners is just gonna be next to impossible.
And that is that one. We'll see some replays. Elcon sniping the win, and then also just the onslaught of aces, consistent pace from them, fast times, Into the Breach. Parkour really is their map.
Now we have Slowdown. I think a map where Sinners has really just put a great performance on, and let's see if they can replicate it against ITB, of course. You know, Sinners plays against ITB here, and let's see what they have. We have the warm-up now, and now we're gonna go into the first live round.
I think Sinners has a great opportunity to come back right now. They, even on Parkour, we did see Tween, also Kappa at one point, be on the same pace as Elcon most of the map. It's just the identity was very, very, very difficult.
Oh, big mistake. That is from Elcon in the first round.
And I think we also saw Elcon, I think it was against Solary, make a lot of mistakes on this map as well. So definitely a pace-based, very technical map, and it's very consistent if you drive it well, right? There's not a lot of very mistake-heavy areas. So I think Sinners has a great opportunity to take the lead.
Talking about that wiggle in the previous game, Mime actually did it here and put it to use. Got about a car length ahead of Kappa there in that segment, but now Kappa coming back. And Tween with the lead here. Quite solid lead, 2/10 ahead of Mime. That is hard to lose in the identity, and Kappa could push for an ace here. Going to reduce airtime beautifully, go wide. Looks like he's losing time, but coming back with more speed and the third gear in his favor.
Kappa.
Trying to secure
At
an
a point
ace.
41.
Wait, that's the world record from Tween!
What?
Tween crushing the world record in the league, and also the world record from the Challenger League from Feed.
Yeah,
It's
42 yesterday.
It's 8,000 faster than world record.
Wow.
From Challenger League. So definitely an incredible performance there.
And he had an incredible ending because the splits there, they were about 2/10 slower than things we've seen from players like Elcon in the last match against Solary. He had a crazy checkpoint in the middle. And this is now very interesting what they might be able to do with the rest
Maybe
of
we're
the
gonna see even a faster time being done, but Sinners, they are ready. They have shown the world record in that first round. Tween, however, now a little bit behind, but still a very close round here from the players. Will we see the wiggle? Well, Elko with a good amount of speed. Mime also following him up here. Let's see who will have the most amount of speed after this section. It will be Kappa and Tween, both falling behind. Elko and Mime can reverse sweep it here and go into the lead with an ace themselves, but the identity will decide it. Kappa with a great line going to the lead. Good line here. Tween also coming closer. Tween not with a good line here, but comes again back with a good inside line there.
Chance.
Will it be enough? Elcon will have more speed, and Mime as well. Will they take it? Mime will not stay ahead, and it's another 0.6. Kappa will win it and deny the ace towards ITB.
Great start for Sinners here. We're seeing just, this is a map they can fight back on. On Parkour, I think there was literally no chance, but here, the pace they have is good, and if Tween didn't crash there, he had a little bit better start, they could have actually aced that round.
I did predict that Sinners were going to take this map. I think it's going to be a little bit back and forth, depending on, you know, the amount of practice they have, but Sinners have had this map before quite a lot, and it is one of their favorite maps to pick, so definitely I think this favor goes to Sinners for me.
Such a strong start for Mime.
Mistake.
Elcon with a mistake, but Mime's on great pace right now out of the opening. And we'll see what Sinners can do. That's 2/10 already that he's just gained. A huge gap for slowdown, and he's gonna extend a little bit with that ice wiggle. So watch out for what Mime can possibly do here.
Also Elcon coming closer in the meantime, but also because he opted for very inside line, not getting the best amount of speed. Tween and Kappa now. Elcon with a mistake. Tween and Kappa chasing down Mime here, but Mime is still 0.2 ahead that he has accumulated at the start. Also Mime with a good line here, but one mistake could mean the ace for Sinners, and he knows that, and Mime will stay ahead. What time will it be? A 0.5? Okay, a 0.62, not too bad if I do say so myself. Kappa and Tween, both with a sub 57. And it's another draw, and Sinners, of course, still being ahead by 1 point with that.
And Mime actually has the second best average on this map. He has a 56.84 median, and he beats that now by 2/10 quite handedly. So really, you know, padding the stats a little bit from the early weeks when the standard was to drive under 57 seconds. Now they're doing 56.6 with relative comfort. It's crazy.
I mean, we've talked about this before. The pace just keeps increasing week after week. Almost every single week we see incredible world records we haven't seen before.
Look at the pace here. They're about a 10th ahead of the last round. Great start from all three players here. Such a hard-fought battle for first, and we're likely going to see 35 seconds on this checkpoint. 36.11, very close to that mark.
I mean, we're talking 500s away for, like, separating the players. 0.1 down to Capo right now, but he still is able to overtake. He can do it with some risky endings here, not going for that inside tree line. He needs to push it here in the final left-hander. We have one person flying out. Elcon also getting a little bit of airtime, but he maintains that first place. It's going to be a draw once again.
Still a 0.59, a 55.9 from Elcon. Incredibly fast time. All players were pushing it, but it's a draw here. Mime has made that mistake. And Sinners again getting that third draw, saving the day there and capitalizing from that mistake from Mime.
Very close round, 0.5 being necessary to take a win. See just how much they're willing to push it. Just full fly out for Mime, because he knows if he gets that line right, reduces airtime, it would have been the ace, and they're willing to push for that. But really, just the start here, so refined. You can see the lines the players are opting for, basically the same at every point. They know just how well this map has been optimized. Every single line has been figured out.
Elcon does seem to go for that ice squiggle out of the bobsleigh section, and I think that's what also helps him just a little bit. I mean, even a couple of hundredths of a second is significant when you're playing on this level, and he's pushed himself 2/10 ahead of the competition.
This is a pace alert.
Oh, but Kappa with such a great line. Elcon going a little bit wider, and Kappa now in the lead. Elcon will not be able to snipe it back, but this is so close. All of the players right next to each other. Elcon also getting overtaken by his teammate by 2,000ths of a second, hitting that finish line. But I mean, what an incredible, I mean, what is that? 400ths of a second separating 3 players?
Yeah.
Imagine being last with a .76.
.76 last place and a draw. Only a draw there in that round. We're going for another one. Sinners still keeping that 1-point lead ahead of Into the Breach. And an ace for either team here could be detrimental, as we see a big mistake from Mime that puts them in a 1 versus 2 now. But they do have Elcon up there, who has great pace on the map. Though Kappa is dropping another fast start here, putting him under a lot of pressure.
Queen with a good line. But Elcon gets the wiggle, but this is a huge opportunity for Sinners to extend their lead.
Inside line for Elcon. I don't think he wanted that. Lost a lot of speed, and suddenly Sinners are jumping up to an ace position. If they can hold it in the identity, Kappa definitely going to hold on to this first place if he does not make any mistake in the uphill. But Tween has a battle still to fight.
Kappa Airlines.
As we talk about the airlines, he goes flying. Now Elcon in mind with a chance. Does put Tween under pressure, but he's going to hold on to first place, and it's another draw.
I think that was the 5th draw in a row now?
In a lot.
Yeah, it was.
This match is resting on a knife's edge.
But Sinners has put themselves in the position once again to clutch it out with an ace, get the map victory. So if they can capitalize on a mistake in the beginning from Elcon, then, this is looking dangerous, because Mime is now the only person standing between Sinners and the map victory. And this is a lot of pressure on Mime's shoulders.
Yeah, and he knows that. He knows that his teammate is down. He's 0.7 behind, and Mime did the mistake in the previous round, and it was Elcon to save the day. But look at that. Tween and Kappa in first and second, and that's what they are in need of. Kappa gets a very good entry. Let's see if Mime can come back a little bit here. He goes for a very aggressive inside line, but he doesn't have the best amount of speed over in this section, so will be Kappa overtaking him again. Will this be enough for Sinners to close out map number 2, or will we gonna see another round after that? Tween leading though, and also Kappa in the mix. Kappa not with the best mistake, and this is it, unless Kappa flies out here, but they know it. Mime and Elcon are behind, and map number 2 goes towards Sinners.
They've done it. They took down Into the Breach on their own choice here, and they are showing fighting signs here. They're out of the playoffs. They have no chance there. They just want to prove they can win a match.
Let's quickly take a look at Tween here beating the world record on the map live in the match. Once again, we see world records almost every single week now. The pace is increasing, but this is just great showing from Sinners.
Yeah, also this incredibly tight rounds here. 3 players incredibly close to each other. Let's see what we're gonna see also on the next map. But we like this whole map was stacked with highlights.
It really was, and the rounds could not get better. It was just such a close fight between the teams. 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. That is what the teams are expected to drive now if they want to win. And on Freestyle, last week, we saw Into the Breach beat Solary, and that's why they're going for this again.
I mean, that's the thing. Into the Breach did... the fact that they beat Solary last week is crazy. Well played by them, by the way, and I think they're riding off of that momentum. A lot of people have put ITB way higher in their own personal tier list because of the fact that they were able to beat Solar, because of the fact that they've gotten so clean on some of the maps, especially maps like Parkour, where they can take that out of the pocket and just probably dominate every single other team on the field. So let's see if they can take that pace and come back with it right now.
And last week, Mime really was the carry. He was driving low 107 every single round, and Elcon, he had some mistakes. If he cleans that up, they're going to be even tougher to beat. But Sinners, they've also had their good performances on Freestyle in the past. So let's see which team comes out ahead. Elcon with a mistake. Mime still clean. But now an opportunity for Sinners to at least get a draw and potentially more if Mime misses the identity.
Oh, we have Elcon with another mistake. And I just want to say he still has to come back. He still can come back with the identity. But it is a lot of seconds that they have lost there.
And Tween, I don't think, has gotten it better either. So hold on, this could be a good spot for Into the Breach. Elcon's right there. Mime's gonna get first place, and Elcon will get third to get themselves a victory there.
Yeah, it is the first victory for ITB. Starting off the match, a bit wonky for Elcon, but Mime seals the deal with a 107.42.
But we're definitely going to see some tighter matches there. 4 seconds separating all of the players. I think that we're going to see matches where we're talking less than half a second for the entire field.
And what Freestyle really comes down to in the identity is getting gear 4. Kappa missed it there, and I think Tween missed it as well. If you don't have the 4th gear as you're entering the identity, you are in a whole world of trouble. Because then those wall ride flicks that you see them do, they don't work. So you need to be very careful.
Yeah, they're at least incredibly difficult to pull off. And right now we do see ITB here on their own map pick, being 1st and 2nd place, going for and no ice slide here. So there's a few different lines that the players will take, and we see
players disappear.
Elcon
with a big respawn. I think he got stuck on the ring. Mime again with a job to do here, and this is reminiscent of last week. Elcon making some mistakes on Freestyle. Mime put under a lot of pressure, but so consistent. Tween clipping. He doesn't have the gear, and I can see the problem. He has to go for this high flick 360. It's the only way to save it. Kappa, the only player that can stop Mime from taking another round win here, but Mime stays so consistent. Another fast time, 0.3. And he's going to try to keep dishing these out until Elcon's there to join him, and that is going to be their recipe to success.
Elcon lost a lot of time, so the mistake from Treen didn't even matter too much. Elcon just finishing now 14 seconds behind, but Mime with a great time. It's only 0.3 away from the world record, and let's see if Elcon can accompany him here in the 3rd round on Freestyle. But also Kappa and Tween just getting some valuable points out of those rounds. Not only 1 point behind so far, even though we've seen some incredibly fast times from my team.
I mean, 1 point is absolutely better than nothing, and every single point counts on these matches here, because we've seen matches end up 12-12 in the ending. So definitely important for Team Sinners to get those draws out whenever they can.
Yeah, and look at the start from Elcon and Mime here, 1st and 2nd, being 0.1 ahead of their opponents. Let's see what this very, very unusual section with so many different lines will bring us. Kappa and Tween jumping very low. Elcon and Mime setting themselves up nicely for the slide here as well, where you want to hold that 4th gear and exit with a no slide. Mime is doing it perfectly, and look at the speed from Elcon as well, just zooping into 1st position, but there's still the identity left to be cleared. But Elcon and Mime looked super good on that. Kappa and Tween not too far behind. Look at Mime and Elcon in the lead.
This could be the ace that they're looking for. Finally, Elcon's there to join Mime up front. Kappa with a mistake, the gap increasing, and they only have 1 wall ride flick to go before they lock it in. Ace for Into the Breach, and Mime's pace is getting faster and faster. 0.4, 0.3, and now a 0.2.
Maybe a 0.1 in the next round.
I mean, that will be incredible. The lower we go to a 0.0, once again, it's a 107.086. That is the world record. The closer we go to that, I mean, the more the players are going to push, and we might see another world record.
Yeah, it can definitely happen. We have seen one on the previous map. Why not on this one? But Tween has a good start. Elcon also in there, and then we have Mime with a lot of speed. So again, only 0.1 of a second. Kappa falling a bit behind them.
He is losing ground here, Kappa, but goes wide. Tries to just ensure he gets passes every time, because this is not taken for granted. Mime almost making his 1st mistake on the map, but so consistent. One of the most consistent players on Freestyle. We see Elcon missing the... Tween missing the slide a little bit. Elcon jumping up into 1st place with his teammate now. As the Sinners have both made slight mistakes in the start, it will be Into the Reach with a clear winning spot right now if they can get the identity right.
Yeah, I mean, they are definitely far ahead. Sinners need to hope for some sort of mistake coming in from ITB. Both of them enter the identity with that 4th gear. They're just 2 jumps away from getting an ace, putting themselves to 9 points. That was incredibly close coming in from Elcon. 1 more jump to go. They both make it flawlessly. Beautiful from ITB, 9-2.
Mime is literally unstoppable on this. I talked about Parkour being a ban, but you actually have to drive like top 5 times in the league to beat this guy.
And it's incredible.
And he can just do it round after round. It's so impressive.
I think this was his 2nd worst time on this map, if I recall it correctly. I think he did a 0.6 in round 1 or 2, but still a great display of skill. And now ITB only needs a draw. Even a victory for Sinners would be enough to close out the match.
The map. We'll see what they can do here. But this is Into the Breach's map choice, right? And so if Sinners lose this, it's not the worst, because they still have their own choice, which I believe was Aero Pipes as the 4th map in the series. where they can look to fight back, but we know Mime and Alcon are pretty strong on that.
Oh, I think Kappa made a mistake. Kappa had to double respawn, so he's out on that one. And this is almost GG because they only have to save the identity, even if they lose the gear. But
Kappa's lost 10 seconds. Like, they can respawn the identity too. It's really just about it here. And I think into the breach, without that mistake or not, they would likely take the map because the one round Mime made a mistake. Alcon is driving the exact same pace. Basically just replace him, copy paste, put another fast player up there, and that's going to be enough to take the maps. Tween though, answering back with a good time here. 0.4 of his own.
That was a clean last jump there from Tween. That was just pixel perfect. As you said, Wirtual, you've said this multiple times. Playing with the pixels, I love that saying. And that was absolutely as low as possible.
And a map win for Into the Breach.
10-3. What a great performance it is.
I think Sinners, they have a chance here. Because, you know, you go into a match like this and you think, okay, we're probably going to lose some of their map choices. Freestyle, maybe they expected to lose it, but they will have a chance on Aero pipes. But here, it was again a Mime and Alcon show as we look at the replays.
Yeah, this was where ITB finally get that ace. They showcased that they are able to both get that very clean round. Mime has been on pace for first almost every round, but Alcon finally being able to catch up, maintain that pace, make sure that he drives the map clean, and indeed give the ace to the team.
And that really cracked Sinners there. They have been only 1 point away, but they have lost 2 consecutive rounds with aces. But now we're gonna move on to Aero Pipes, the map with a notoriously hard identity as well.
It does have a very hard identity, and yesterday we saw a new world record on this in the Trackmania Challenger League, where the second division teams essentially are playing, looking to rank up. Dexter got a new world record, 1:10:33, and Mime and Alcon are fast at this. They have a 0.46 and a 0.50 as their personal best, so very close to that mark. Tween and Kappa, they have known that. Those stats are public, they know that. Their personal bests are 0.6 and 7, so they need to up their game here to take down Mime and Alcon, but it is the map they thought they have the best chance at doing so on. And right now in the first round, they're keeping up out of the gate.
Alcon and Mime leading though, Tween falling a bit behind, and we have a good round in our hands, but Tween can still come back with a good identity. Here we have the first kind of taste going over that pipe section, which is of course, a resemblance of the identity on this map. It's still Alcon with a great line here, extending his lead a little bit towards Kappa, who's not slowing down though, but also Mime is coming closer. Let's take a look onto that fight here for that second place. Alcon with a good line, Mime with a lot of speed, but will it be enough to overtake him? But of course, everything can happen. It could also be the ace for Sinners if Alcon and Mime make a mistake. Will it be enough though? Alcon getting attacked by Kappa now. Kappa with a lot of speed over in that section. Kappa not with a good line. Alcon with a mistake. Mime with more speed though. It is not enough to overtake.
Mime.
Yes, it will be, because Kappa got a slowdown landing there. So it is Mime taking first, Tween and Kappa on second and third. So we start off things with a draw.
Start off with a draw and a 110.7 from Mime, and he was, you know, in third going in there, so the other players were on really good pace up front.
Wicked.
Okay.
Okay.
Alcon shows
An interesting line.
But we see how difficult that identity is. 3 out of 4 players made a mistake. Aero Pipes is one of the least chosen maps in the entire league. And the reason is that identity, the obstacle part. Yeah. You have to have surgical precision to jump onto those pipes 3 times in a row.
It is so easy to make mistakes here, but we have seen some teams favor the map actually. Like Big, they've played 25 rounds of this map, so and they really like it. And it's because if a lot of other people they dislike a map, making that your specific personal best, capitalizing on other people's dislikes is actually a pretty solid plan to do.
And I think that's what Into the Breach has done with Parkour to a certain degree, but here we see Alcon with a mistake in the start, so Mime now forced to try to defend on one of the most difficult identities. Definitely not an easy task for him, but see if he can do it. Kappa and Tween are just there waiting for any mistake. The gap kind of too far to catch up in pure pace, and I don't think they're gonna try. They're gonna just secure an ace if it happens to fall into their hands. If not, just nail the jumps is the main task right now. We're dropping in good speed for Kappa though, coming a bit closer to Tween there across the platform, the no engine part, and now the jumps. Mime nailing that first one, onto the second one. Ooh. As we see Kappa teleporting a little bit, looks all good. The last jump is there too, and Mime will defend against the Sinners, secure a draw for his team, but he really needs Alcon to be there with him because it's a moment of time until he fails.
In this round, every player survived the identity, and we have another draw. It's 2-2, open match, and maybe this pick could still work out for or in favor for Sinners. I mean, ITB was definitely very strong on this one, but they have to survive this identity in order to make something happen, and we've seen it in the previous round.
Ooh, Elcon almost struggling with the wall bang there, and now the ice slide. We saw Mime go for such an inside line here. This time it's Tween. Want to exit and try to straighten out as soon as possible. Tween missing that a little bit. Losing valuable time here across the middle pipe. This one is not that hard as the others. No airtime really. Just getting the right exit. Setting yourself up for the next drift is the main task there. Elcon and Mime losing a little bit to Kappa here. He's doing a great time actually. Fast splits from Czech player, but we have the identity to go. And I bet everyone's feeling a little bit nervous right now before the storm approaches. 3 jumps, who's gonna win it?
I mean, Kappa, he has to maintain that lead right now. If he doesn't, that's gonna spell an ace, but Mime with a huge mistake there. Tween might be able to overtake Kappa, but maintains that lead. Elcon is right behind. Tween gets that 3rd place. I mean, important that Elcon didn't make a mistake at least, but as we've said, this is what happened with ITB quite a lot. When one player seems to get through the map clean, the other player will make a mistake, and this time it was Mime.
Yeah, Mime made that mistake, securing or let Sinners secure their first victory here of this map, and going into the lead by 1 point. But of course, it is better than nothing. To also get those draws doesn't really help you too much. Let's see if they can keep up that momentum.
See if they can. That was definitely a great showing from them. And I mean, Elcon, he's shown that he's not very consistent at this identity so far. Could be the nerves, because in previous games he's done it really cleanly. But that is one of their winning conditions. Getting into the breach to stumble in their own shoelaces on the identity, fail the pipe jumps is what they're looking for. And the only way that works is if they're consistent themselves.
Yeah, but once again, like, they're incredibly close right now. 0.12 separating the top 3 players. Tween is the only one who's kind of in the bag. He can still maintain a good position like an anchor for the team if anybody else makes a mistake, but it's gonna be down to this identity once again. Kappa, Elcon, and Mime all fighting for that top 1 position, but right now Elcon has a little bit of extra speed. He might be able to capitalize with that, keeping ahead of Kappa. 1 jump, 2 jumps down, he's still there. That's so close. The wobbles are there. Elcon almost fallen out, but he gets that 1st place.
Super close there, and then now we're a draw, 5-5, halfway to the 10 mark. Elcon and Mime are just, it feels like they're a car that takes a while to accelerate, but they have a higher top speed once they get there.
Yeah, what a shaky identity from Elcon that was.
Super shaky, but the pace still super strong. And a 110.5, I think beats, does not beat his personal record, about a 10th off of it, but we're approaching their best times they've driven in the league. So now that the engine is up and running into the breach, the steam train that they are might just roll over their opponents. Tween making a mistake. Kappa again here. He's been forced to try to defend from the front several rounds in a row. And it's a matter of time until he makes a mistake too into the breach. They have another great opportunity here.
Yeah, they're pressuring their opponent here. Kappa, the only one left alive for Sinners. Elcon with a good line. Mime also gets a lot of speed out of this section here, but Kappa had so insane speed before the identity. Let's see if he can keep it up though. It's looking good, but only a couple of hundreds between him and both ITB players. But let's see who's gonna survive the ending. Mime with an incredible amount of speed will overtake Kappa here in the ending. Good jump here. It's so close. Who's gonna get the best ending? It will not be Mime. Will Elcon be able to overtake Kappa? Yes, he will. And it will be Elcon winning a Tween on 3rd, and we have another draw.
It's a very equal match right now on Aero pipes. 6-6 as of right now, and I don't see it going any other way than just multiple times we're gonna have 1 victory, maybe 1 draw, and a loss. Like,
no ace so far.
No aces, yeah. But
crazy.
1 ace at this spot would be just disastrous for the other team if you concede an ace at this moment. And Sinners, I think they really have to win this map to win the overall set, the games, because Into the Breach have so many good maps left in the deck. Also, Agility Dash as the decider if it goes to 7, so they need to win their own choices here. And at this point, now that it's so close, they really have to step up. Again, I think it's Tween struggling on Aero pipes, really has not found the rhythm. And when you're in this mental rut, just crash after crash, it can start to get into your head, start to tilt. It's very hard to come back from that.
I mean, momentum is definitely a thing, not just for when you're winning, but also if you keep making mistakes on mistakes, especially when it's places where you should.
Mime!
Ooh, Mime with a huge mistake. Like this could be important. I don't know if Tween is getting close enough. Tween is getting close enough to overtake Mime, actually, and now we have a battle for third and a battle for first, and it's gonna be up to Elcon to maintain that lead. But once again, not looking like it's gonna be an ace for either team, but you can never say anything for sure here on Aero Pipes. Elcon getting first, Mime with a mistake, Tween getting third.
Another draw.
Another draw, and now it's 7-7. Both teams set themselves up for a victory if they get an ace. It could have been the ace for ITB because they were in first and second, but Mime made that mistake and eventually they dropped it there, and it was another draw.
And such a turnaround for Elcon. He started this map with so many mistakes, but now he's had great winning time after great winning time, and it's Mime actually who's made a lot of mistakes on Into the Breach's side. So Sinners, they have a new opponent just about equally fast as Mime makes another mistake in the start.
Yeah, Mime slacking right now, but his teammate is there for him. Elcon with a great eyesight here, accumulate no speed, but hitting
an ace could be disaster here. Sinners in top 2. Finally, Tween has gotten off to a clean start, come alive now, and they're increasing their lead to Elcon, who's a little bit shaking the slides. How much is the gap gonna be? Tween with a jump there, but able to save his line, and it's gonna be about 2/10 of a gap between Kappa and Elcon, and another 2/10 up to Tween, and they're extending right now. If they survive the pipes, they will take their own map here and go up to a 2-2 scoreline against Into the Breach. 3 jumps remain to see if they can do just that.
We've talked about this, though. We've talked about the fact that sometimes the easiest goal to score is the one without a goalkeeper, and they have to just drive this into the finish. They can slow down much, but not that much. Tween slowing down way too much. Elcon actually getting close to Kappa, not quite enough to overtake, and Mime overtaking Tween to make it a draw. I mean, that's, yeah.
The ace is just not happening in this match. It's not meant to be, but of course 8-8 would also mean that a victory for one of those respective teams is enough. But they were stumbling so much. Mime with a mistake, and also Sinners has thrown that one away. As you said it, they had it.
Yep.
That was such a good winning opportunity there. Unfortunately, they do not get across the pipes without any mistakes. Now they still have a job to do, but they could just as easily make mistakes this round, and then Into the Breach would take it. Very high volatile situation. Tween again with a mistake. Kappa here now forced to win the round. It's the only outcome that does not make them lose the map. Has to beat both Into the Breach players.
I mean,
Kappa in the lead though.
This is...
Oh, mistake. One of them
this could be the
falls.
crucial round. Only 2 points is needed. You only need a victory. Anything else than a draw will end off the map right now. So we will see either ITB or Sinners. They could get it here right now. It looks like it's a draw.
But with good speed, Mime missed the trajectory entirely, and this could make it worse for him on the pipes, as if he doesn't know the line to save it. Oh, keeps the speed just barely. Elcon there as well. Kappa's respawn. Mime and Elcon are top 2, and with that, they're gonna get the ace on the map and take it home 3-1 Into the Breach.
Oh, how heartbreaking is that for Sinners? They could have closed it out in the round beforehand, but now they're getting aced themselves. And it is 11-8 in favor for them. ITB goes into a lead. 3-1 is the scoreline.
They do. Let's take a look at some replays to see how this match went in the highlights. A lot of mistakes on the pipes that first round where 3 players crashed and Mime was the lone survivor, and it kept going back and forth for a while, but eventually Into the Breach made a small breakaway, got some winning rounds on the board, and took it home.
Right, we're gonna jump to our next map. It could be the last one of this match. Slippy Slides. ITB is leading here with 3 map wins so far, but Sinners was so close on the previous one. It could have been a heated up match up until this point if Sinners had won the...
And yeah,
I mean, this is gonna be a close one, but I think ITB does have this one in the bag as of right now. They have played this map very well before. It is an incredibly difficult map to drive through without making any mistakes, and Sinners are put on such a high pressure situation because they only have one map, and ITB just needs to close it out.
And ITB picks this map, and they're one of the strongest teams at it. They have about a 1 second average gap between Mime and the 2 players from Sinners, Kappa and Tween. So unless they have practiced this rigorously the last week, then it is looking tough. But mistakes can happen. Matches in individual performance can be decided based on who has a good day, who has a bad day. And right now, 2 small mistakes in the start for Into the Breach, although they're coming back across the grass platform right now. Catching up to Tween, who held that lead, but not for long, as here comes Mime, and here comes Elcon too, into the bug slide section. This map characterized by 4 bug slides. The first one here giving a little bit of a appetizer before the identity. Elcon and Mime, even though they were 3rd and 4th, are now up in 1st and 2nd, showing their pace dominance on the map. And if they hold the bug slides, they will start us off with an ace.
Looking good for Mime though. Now the exit point is also super important. Elcon gets so much speed and Mime is in the lead. Elcon, however, going a bit too inside, still is able to survive. Will he stay on 2nd place? Yes, he will, in a 1:11.23 to start off things here from Mime. And it's an ace for ITB. A very, very good way to start off the map for them. Because Sinners, they have to deliver on this one.
They have, and they've actually only played it once, I believe, when they, in one of the first weeks, and they drove 112s. And after that, they have not encountered this map. So it could be that their pace is faster, like Tween just set a new personal record. Yeah. But 1:11.23 is a monstrous time to go up against. And Mime, I think, is looking at more than just beating Sinners. I think he's looking at the world record here.
I mean, low 111s are gonna be almost impossible to beat. At least that's... Oh, we already have a mistake from the very, very start here from Sinners. We see Capo with a huge mistake at the start. He still made the jump, though, which is crucial, because that means he can capitalize if anybody makes a mistake in the identity or in the first bug slide. But he's gonna have to hope that he sees some sort of PayPal happening. Tween is the one who has to deny Into the Breach another ace. And that is probably gonna spell doom here for the 2nd round. It could be an ace back-to-back here for Into the Breach.
This could be all over for Sinners very soon. Tween sliding out there, and it's now Kappa on 3rd position. He has to capitalize from mistakes. Elcon getting a very good exit. You look at the speed accumulated from him. Mime on 2nd position. Will they survive? They looked very confident on the identity in the previous round.
And the problem for Sinners, if they won the Aero pipes, they could tank this map and just lose it and go to the next one and still have a fight for the best of 7. But here, they basically have to win Slippy, and they will secure, from what was a terrible position, a draw, but that could have easily gone way worse.
Elcon landing an overslide there and slides out. This happens when your car is angled more than 90 degrees, like 95-ish, even more, and Elcon didn't get it, but it's so hard to predict because you have those water tires, and with that, it's really hard to do an adjustment.
It is, and if you get off to the wrong trajectory in Slippy, or even just hesitate on the bug slides, that's when things go really wrong for you, so...
Tween so close.
Very close. They made a mistake in the start last time, but now they're trying to go low, trying to avoid it, and they do survive. The Mime going very high.
I mean, that was a crazy line by Mime, almost flying out the map. Honestly, I don't think that was quite on purpose, but he did save it, so he's not too far behind going for the no airtime. Everybody want to make sure that they keep ground contact for as much as possible. That way you can accelerate your car throughout the entirety of the turn.
But look at Sinners, they're top 2 right now. They have had some problems in this section, getting the no slide right across the engine off part and more speed into the dirt. This is where they lost time in the previous rounds, and they do so again, but still a good spot. Kappa about 2 tenths ahead.
Yeah, it is Kappa being in the lead, but also look at Elcon now having it so well. This time, not really that much. Kappa still in the lead, but Kappa with a mistake here, and he folds down. Elcon in 1st position. Mime also capitalizes from that mistake. Of course, there's still the identity left to clear, and Tween can maybe get an ace. Mime with a mistake, now over-angling his car, and Elcon has to save the day, but Tween sliding out. Mime also respawning, though, and it could be Tween, who is also capitalizing well, but it is Kappa getting 2nd place. But the question is, who's getting 3rd? It is Mime getting that for 3rd place, and also Tween making all of the mistakes in this round.
There are opportunities here. There's definitely ways you could beat Into the Breach, but you have to make use of the rounds when they fail, and here they did not, and that makes the scoreline still as hard to come back from as it was. 4 points away for Into the Breach now to win the entire set.
I mean, that's what we talked about. You gotta take advantage when you see those cracks in the armor. You need to be able to capitalize on them. Once again, so high there from Elcon. I don't know if ITB have practiced some sort of extra line where they go higher to set up for the next drift, but I mean, that looks just spooky. Oh, an airtime coming in here from, who was that, Tween? That's gonna put him quite far back.
Tween with a mistake, half a second behind. And let's see if ITB can just go very close towards that map victory. Mime is in the lead. Kappa, the only player to deny some points, but they have lost a lot of time in this third section here and also in this bug slide that ends in a wicked ice slide uphill. Mime still leading. Kappa behind, gets a good trajectory here. Elcon super inside, and look at the speed from Elcon that he just gathers up there. First and second for ITB, and one identity left to be cleared.
Let's see if they can get the bug slides right. They had some struggles here already. You don't want to angle more than 90.
Mime again.
Angling too much sideways, and Kappa now gonna pass one. Elcon looks like he has to line perfectly, although a bit wide. Will take the first place, and is Tween there to secure a draw. Does not look like it. It will be into the breach now. 2 points away, and Sinners have to get 7.
Victory.
Yeah, 7 points. That means that they, even with 2 aces, it would not be enough for them to win the map.
No, I mean, this is putting so much pressure on Sinner's shoulders that, you know, these mistakes that you see them make, it's not because they're inherently bad at the map. It's just because the amount of pressure that gets put on you when you're like 5 points behind on a match point situation against a team like Into the Breach on their map pick, it is so difficult to do everything right. I think we saw a slight clip here from Elcon, and now Sinners has a great opportunity to get back into the game. Now, Mime is still a very dangerous opponent to drive against here, but he's also knowing that Elcon is too far behind to make any sort of significant impact. So it's down to Elcon to maintain this lead, or at least maintain second place, to not give Sinners that ace.
And Mime really just wants to make sure that he can't really risk here, because if he fails the bug slides as an ace, I think he's just going to be there in the middle, stay a bit annoying, whether he wins or gets second. Gonna try to hold on to that, but it's not going to be easy as Kappa passes him down the uphill. Needs to win in the bug slides. Has he done his homework here? He goes for an inside approach. That's going to put him wide on the third one. And Kappa and Tween are going to have more speed. Tween sliding out. Mime saying it first. Kappa missing.
It could be over. It could be over. Mime is still making it.
What is happening right now? Everybody,
Mime is getting first.
Huge mistakes coming in from the entire team, and Mime won the round, and I think Mime won by full stopping on the last platform. This makes no sense.
Elcon playing golf on Slippy slides, gets the hole in one, but it's only enough for a draw.
Mime just was like a snail on the platform with his watery tires and was eventually getting first place. 9-4, the draw has helped them, but of course, you know, players writing great round kind of ironically in the chat. So it was with a lot of mistakes. But let's see, Sinners also with 2 aces could take it home, and they had the chance of winning the previous round with an ace, but they didn't do so.
Unfortunate. It's again what we said. Gotta use those opportunities because they don't come around often. It's so rare we see a round where all 4 players crash to such a degree. And now we're back to clean driving Tween though with the best start by far. Mime catching a little bit as well in the water section, but here comes Kappa and Elcon across. Elcon wide, so you can get more speed into this dirt approach. Beautiful line right there, all the way up to Tween now. And if Kappa and Tween are gonna win this map and have a chance of the match, they need to ace, but they're in 3rd and 4th before the LNT. They need the bug slides of a lifetime.
Yeah, this ending is gonna be crucial for Sinners. They need to get it perfectly. They have seen Into the Breach make multiple mistakes, but they cannot rely on it. Elcon, Mime, both executing it well. Tween, there's sandwich between them, but it will be not enough unless they make a mistake. Elcon with a huge mistake, but it does not matter because Mime made sure that he got that first place or second place, whichever one would work, and that's gonna give Into the Breach the map victory and indeed the match victory.
Good game
as well from Mime as the winning.
Yeah, great winning time as well. Good game, well played to Into the Breach, who now have secured another win. They go 4-3 in the regular season, and we'll see how that shakes up in the overall rankings after the other teams have played. But before we see that, some highlights.
Yeah, it is this strong streak here from Elcon, where he won just another round. As you can see here, great identity from him. And then, of course, this clown fiesta round. You can just say that. It was just absolutely all over the place. Everyone has made a mistake. We have seen some stunt shenanigans in there, but I think we can just enjoy it one more time.
Yeah, just this is what can happen on Slippy slides. One person goes a little bit too wide in the bug slide angle, another misses the trajectory. It's just all over the place.
But I also think that this is a great, like, always the telltale what sometimes the turtle wins against the hare in the race. And Mime just realized, hey, if I just land here, I'll just drive into the finish line. It looks like everybody is having some sort of problem, and I will just slowly but surely make it into the finish. And it worked.
It did work. Whatever gets you the win is what matters